Okay, so let me just first start this. Just a minute, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so here we are. We are going to start with the next topic, which is ring homomorphism. And as yesterday I told you that we might plan an evaluation. So I will let you know few details about it. So the syllabus which we will keep for that evaluation will be before this topic, before the ring homomorphism, right? So I will be uploading all the lectures. वैसे मैंने कल तक के lectures सारे upload कर दिए हैं, but you people were asking for lecture notes, so just give me some time. I'll be uploading them also, but meanwhile आप book से पढ़ सकते हो. Most of the notes are from book only, the Galleon. If anybody needs a soft copy, so you can search over the internet, you will get the soft copy of the book Galleon and assignments. So more detail exactly कौन कौन से topic से आएगा क्या है वो मैं आपको बताऊंगी once I'll decided to take the evaluation. So let's begin today's lecture, which is about ring homomorphism. So I just hope you are already clear with the term homomorphism, because in group theory also we have the concept of homomorphism. Yes, I want to hear from you. All of you are aware of this? Have you heard the term homomorphism?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so because every concept, whatever we are studying for rings, is already there for the groups, because basically every ring is a group itself. So since you already know group homomorphism, so it will be easier for you to understand ring homomorphism. So let me give you the definition of ring homomorphism. So a ring homomorphism phi from a ring R to a ring S is a mapping from R to S that preserves the following operations. That is, for all AB belongs to R, phi of A plus B is phi A plus phi B, and phi of AB is phi A into phi B. So basically a homomorphism is a mapping. Mapping, all of you know the meaning of the word mapping. Mapping means a function, right? So mapping is a function. So its phi is defined from, so whenever we define a function, we need to have two sets. One is the domain, one is a range. R to S. So we have two rings. It's a mapping between two rings. So obviously it will be like phi will be applied to some function to some element of R, and it will give you some element, say whatever it is. Say S is going to be some element of S. So that's how we know the definition of a function. So which type of mappings or functions are known to be ring homomorphism if they preserve the following operations? Because in ring we have these two underlying operations, binary operations, addition and multiplication. So phi of A plus B should be phi A plus phi B, and phi of AB should be phi A into phi B. That means the addition is preserved by phi and multiplication is preserved. So what do you mean by word preserve? Preserve means अगर आप दो एलिमेंट्स को ऐड कर रहे हो रिंग में आर में, तो मैपिंग लगाने के बाद जो उनकी इमेजेस हैं they also get added. And similarly, if you're multiplying two elements in ring R, so after applying the mapping phi, their images also get multiplied. So this is what we say preservation of the operation. So phi preserves these two operations, addition and multiplication. So that's the simple definition of a ring homomorphism. We'll do examples for it. But before that, we have two more definitions with us. So one is the isomorphism, right? So isomorphism, anybody knows what is isomorphism?
Ma'am, 1 1 1 2 homomorphism.
Yeah. So if this mapping, because basically it's a function only, na? So if this function happens to be 1 1 on 2, so if a ring homomorphism is 1 1 and onto, then it is called isomorphism. So isomorphism, अगर किसी rings को prove करना है कि वो isomorphic है, so firstly they have to be homomorphic, and then additionally you need to prove the map is 1 1 and onto, and that is the basic standard mathematical technique. We already know how to prove any given function is 1 1 or onto. So we will see wherever it will be required. So yes, so let's move to the examples. Examples of ring homomorphism. So there can plenty of example. I'm going to share a few. For example, you can define the map from the ring of integers to ring of integers modulo n. And how you are defining this map? So x, it is going to take to x mod n. So x be any integer. So how we are defining this mapping, that when you apply this function, it is just divide the n integer with n, and whatever is the remainder, that is a image of it. So this function, we need to verify that this is actually a ring homomorphism mod n, or ring homomorphism from Z to Zn, and it is also called natural homomorphism, right? So there can be reasons why it's called natural. So it's the most, you can say, natural way of defining the mappings, that you don't change the integer, you are not squaring it, you are not multiplying with anything, you are simply reducing it to mod n. So whatever is the remainder, you get to that, and n can be anything. So for any integer, for any positive integer n, this mapping is a ring homomorphism. So it's easy to see it's a homomorphism very easily if we want to verify. So phi of x plus y is basically x plus y mod n, and this is, we know, is x mod n plus y mod n. So this is understandable to everybody. The operation of addition under the modulo, आप दो numbers को add करके फिर n से divide करके remainder find करो, या फिर अलग अलग remainder find करो और उसको add करो, it's one and the same thing. So this is just fundamental mathematics from the relationships of congruence relations, which you have already familiar with. So this is going to be true, and since this is true, so this is phi x plus phi y. And similarly about the multiplication, this is xy mod n. So this is also true, that this is x mod n into y mod n, because this is what we very frequently do in the uh, you can say whenever we are dealing with the ring Zn. So if anybody has doubt on this, that why these are true, or uh, you need any justification, so you can verify it on any ring, on any these kind of operations. This is always going to be true. So since this is there, so this is a ring homomorphism, right? Okay, so then we can have another example for the same. Example number 2. So you define the mapping from complex to complex, the ring of complex to complex. It's phi of a plus ib is a minus ib. So where I'm mapping it to the its conjugate. So any complex number I'm mapping to its complex conjugate. So this is a also ring homomorphism. So it's very easy to prove. I'm not going to prove it. You check it yourself. You just need to verify the two operations, right? So one more thing, yeah, which I just didn't tell you. The thing is this, that this addition is here and this addition is here on the left hand side, so both of these can have separate meanings, because addition might be defined in a different sense in the ring R, and addition might be defined in a different sense in the ring S, because both our rings are can be of different types, so their way of defining the addition can be of different type. So although we are using the same symbol plus plus, but it's very understood that when you are adding A and B, so you are using the addition operation of the ring R, but when you are adding phi A and phi B, you are using the operation addition of the ring S, and similar about the multiplication. Okay, and here when the both rings are same and the operations which you are defining are same, so it doesn't matter, you already know the default addition in complex or reals how it is done, but otherwise in general it can be different. So this is a ring homomorphism, and not only homomorphism, this is actually isomorphism. So you need to prove that this is 1 1 and on 2. So I'm giving this to you to verify. Everybody knows how to check 1 1 on 2, or how to prove 1 1 on 2. Okay, I can very briefly do it. So होमोमॉर्फिज्म आप खुद देख लेना, 1 1 मैं आपको एक बार रिकॉल करा देती हूँ. सो 1 1 हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू प्रूव 1 1. So whenever you want to prove any function is 1 1, so you start with fx1 is fx2 and you prove x1 is x2, so उससे prove हो जाएगा function is 1 1. So let me prove it here. So let a1 minus iota b1 is same as a2 minus iota b2. So you start with the image, and since both sides we have complex numbers, so this implies the real part is same and the imaginary part is same. And since a1 is a2, b1 is b2, it implies a1 plus iota b1 is also same as a2 plus iota b2. It implies your map phi is 1 1, right? And what about onto? Onto means for all elements present in the range or the codomain, there exists a unique element in the domain, so that we have that. So it's very easy, it's just trivial for this, because we know that for all a minus iota b belongs to complex, there exists a plus iota b belongs to complex such that phi of a plus iota b is a minus iota b. So it's kind of trivial here, because हर complex number का conjugate exist करता है. There is no restriction on finding the complex conjugate. Means every complex number has its a conjugate well existing. So it will be a onto map. So that's why it will be actually a isomorphism. Homomorphism plus 1 1 and plus onto. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me now take another example which I was referring to.
मैम एक बार बैक पेज दिखाओगे?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Yes. So this example is for that ring which I was telling you कि left side की ring पे अलग addition operation हो सकता है और right side पे अलग operation हो सकता है. For example, if I define phi from Z4 to say Z10, right? And say I define the mapping like phi x is y 5 times x. You can choose your own number to multiply with and later on verify whether that is a ring homomorphism or not. But say I verify, say I define like this. So in this case, suppose now we need to verify that this is a ring homomorphism. We want to check whether this is a ring homomorphism or not. So yeah, so it's easy to see phi x plus y is 5 times x plus y. This is how the usual mapping goes. And then this is 5x plus 5y. So you see the left hand side, this one is modulo 4 and this is modulo 10. So it is just it's okay to write like this, but it's trivial, means it's true, but it's we are using the same symbol plus, but some here we need to write that this one 5x plus y, this is modulo 10, but this one is modulo, uh, this is also modulo 10, but this x plus 5 is modulo 4. So we need to show it in some little bit more detail. So let me write x plus y is 4q1 plus r1. Okay, so why I am writing like this? Because x plus y happens to be an element. Because, okay, let me start write this. Let xy belongs to z4. So x plus y also belongs to z4 because that's a ring. So x plus y belongs to z4 means by division algorithm I can write it will be of the type 4q1 plus r1. Any number can be of this type. You divide with 4 and some remainder is there. So let it be of this type. And similarly, I'm assuming for the product. It is say 4q2 plus r2. ये तो हम किसी भी नंबर के लिए ज्यूम कर सकते हैं, बट सिंस यहाँ z4 है तो मैंने 4 से डिवाइड करके उसका रिमाइंडर लिखा है. Obviously, what will be the characteristic of r1? r1 will be less than 4, and similarly the characteristic of r2. Characteristic means not that characteristic जो ring के लिए हम use करते हैं, it's just property. So R1 will lie between 0 to 4 and R2 will lie between 0 to 4. Now if you use phi x plus phi, so phi x plus phi is purely going to be phi R1, because x plus y को जब हम mod 4 करेंगे so ये वाला पार्ट तो बेसिकली 0 हो जाएगा. जब अब उसको मॉडुलो 4 पे लेके आओगे only remainder will be there. So if x plus y is 4q1 plus r1, yeah, so if I want to write x
Ma'am,
plus y,
x plus y already belongs in Z4.
okay,
उस
yeah,
पे mod क्यों लगाएंगे फिर?
आप okay, let's not take it like that. आप इसको अभी ये z लिख लो. Let there are any two integers. Let's suppose there are any two integers x and y. I'm considering x plus y. या फिर आप कुछ मत लिखो, मीन्स ये सिर्फ लिखने के लिए था, बट यहाँ पे x plus y आप किसी भी दो इंटीजर्स के लिए, किसी भी दो नंबर्स के लिए, we can always express it, this integers can express it in this form 4 times something plus. Is it clear? ये तो पता है आपको. नंबर्स को हम ऐसे हमेशा किसी भी नंबर को एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं. अब जब मैं मॉड 4 करूंगी, बट बिकॉज जब मुझे ये 5 मैपिंग को टेस्ट करना है, देन आई हैव टू हैव द कंडीशन कि मेरा जो x प्लस वाई है वो z4 में से है. सो नाउ आई विल बी राइटिंग इट जस्ट r1. और मैं आपको इसको ऑल्टरनेट वे में भी समझा सकती हूँ. इट इज जस्ट द वे इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच. We can also have an explanation like that. Okay, if x plus y belongs to z4, then basically x plus y is just going to be some number where that number lies between 0 to 4, right? Because z4 में हमें पता है कौन से elements होते हैं, integers 0 1 2 3, right? So it's one and the same thing. You start with x plus y belongs to z4 and then you say it's going to be just equivalent to a number lying between 0 to 4. और आप ऐसे करना चाहते हो कि पहले उसको जनरल लिख के फिर मॉड 4 करोगे, फिर वो रिमाइंडर बचेगा. इट्स वन एंड द सेम थिंग. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So now it's basically phi r1. So phi r1 means जब आपने phi x किया तो ये है 5 times r1. अब 5 times r1, अब r1 की वैल्यू आएगी मेरे पास x plus y minus 4q1. अब ये रिमाइंडर की एक्चुअल वैल्यू जो है, it's a number obviously lying between 0 and 4, but somehow I just want to play around with it because मुझे इसको 5x plus 5y mod 10 शो करना है. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू शो. सो मुझे फिर से x और y की टर्म्स में जाना है. सो आई एम यूजिंग r1 definition which is x plus y minus 4q1. Okay, so this is basically 5 times x plus 5 times y minus 20 times q1, which is 5 times x plus 5 times y mod 10. Is it fine? Because जो ये आपके पास टर्म आई 20 टाइम्स q1, ये मॉडुलो 10 करते ही वो क्या हो जाएगी 0, क्योंकि अब राइट हैंड साइड पे है ना, 5 मैपिंग लगा चुके हो. 5 मैपिंग के बाद अब आप जो भी एडिशंस देख रहे हो वो मॉड 10 होनी है. सो मॉड 10 में वो जो एडिशनल फैक्टर आया 20 का, दैट इज गोइंग टू बिकम 0. सो बेसिकली दिस इज 5x प्लस 5y. तो वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि जो हमने यहाँ पे ये लिखा था, it seems that it's going to happen, but it is very trivial when on both sides you have same modulo. But if you have one number modulo on left hand side and different modulo on other side, then you have to show the things mathematically that this is going to happen. Okay, you can't just write it like, okay, it's trivial. You can verify by showing examples, but mathematically you have to show by considering numbers like this. Is it fine? This is what you wanted to show, that now 5x, अब आप यूज कर सकते हो 5x mod 10 plus 5y mod 10, so which is phi of x and phi of y. So I have shown phi of x plus y is same as phi of x plus phi of y, right? So this is what we have shown here. This was, you can say, the extra thing. So this is your main proof of the first part. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So very quickly you can go towards the next property, product. So product में भी हमने x into y को assume किया था that x into y basically is a number 4q2 plus r2. So basically this is going to be phi of r2 only, because वही phi जब लग रहा है तो वो mod 4 पे लग रहा है, तो it will be just r2. And phi of r2 is 5 times r2, and 5 times r2 is going to be xy minus 4q2, because that's what we assumed. R2 is going to be xy minus 4q2. So it's 5 times xy minus 4q2. So it is 5 times xy minus again 20 times q2 mod 10. जब आप करोगे, मीन्स ये सारे ऑपरेशंस mod 10 है, बट अब अल्टीमेटली आई वांट टू सॉल्व, सो आई एम राइटिंग mod 10. सो दिस इज 5 into x y, right, minus this. Now can I write it like this? Remember, this all is mod 10. What is 25 mod 10?
Ma'am, 5.
5.
5, राइट? सो ये जो 5xy है उसको मैंने 25xy लिख लिया. मतलब ये आंसर सही है 5xy, बट व्हाट आई वांटेड टू शो इज 5x into 5y, क्योंकि मुझे ये शो करना है दैट 5xy इज 5x into 5y, वेयर 5x इज 5x into 5y. तो मेरे पास एक 5 आया था, बट बिकॉज ये mod 10 चल रहा है, so I can write another 5 there, because product में 25 will be same as 5 modulo 10, right? So I can use this to prove that this is actually satisfying, and hence this phi which we defined is a ring homomorphism. So थोड़ा सा इसका proof clever है कि आपको modulo की properties use करनी है to show that this is a ring homomorphism, right? Is that clear? Okay, so next we are moving towards the properties of ring homomorphisms. Few more examples of ring homomorphisms I will add in the assignment. I'll make a separate assignment for this one, and then then you practice those questions. So next we are going to talk about properties of ring homomorphisms. So they are very, easy, just like you had properties of group homomorphism. So I'll just going to state them out, and you can very, very easily prove all of them. So let me just write in general. So let phi be a ring homomorphism from a ring R to ring S, and let A be a subring of R and B be an ideal of S. So R का आपको एक सबरिंग दिया है और B उसका एक आइडियल है, तो कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज आएंगे जिनमें A और B यूज होंगे. So we'll see how they are going to be used. So this is done. So let me list out the properties. So the first property is for any R belongs to R and N belongs to positive integers, phi n r is n times phi r, and phi r raised to power n is phi r raised to power n. So it's very easy to prove. Can anybody tell me how it is going to be proved? मैं explicitly proper formally proof नहीं करूँगी, but it's just very easy to prove by the definition of homomorphism. So can anybody suggest how we can prove this one? Yes. Anybody has any idea? थोड़ा सा देखो ध्यान से, you will figure out.
Ma'am, NR can be written as R plus R n times.
Yes.
And since phi is a homomorphism, so वो open हो जाएगा phi r plus phi r में,
Yeah.
and then we get n phi r.
हाँ, similarly multiplication हो जाएगा. So it's because n is integer, right? So that is the trick. Because n is positive integer, so r multiplied with n is basically r plus r n times. And using the definition of homomorphism, that just like phi of a plus b is phi a plus phi b. So when you will be doing this, so this is n times because there are n numbers. And similarly for the multiplication, you can do phi r n is phi, this is r into r n number of times, and this will be phi r into phi r n times. So that is phi r raised to power n. So that was the proof of the first property. So why I'm doing this proof is basically I want to give you the idea that theorems are not difficult to prove. These properties, these little things, you can always just start with the basic definition and it will be helpful in the proof. जब भी आपको लगे कि कोई random proof आ गया है, कोई नया आपने कभी prove नहीं किया है, you always start from the definition of that thing and you will start automatically getting hints that okay, this is how we are supposed to do this. Okay, so this was property number 1. So let me continue with the property. So property number 2 is phi of A is phi of A where A belongs to A is a subring of S. Now what was A? A was given to you in the statement that A is a subring of ring R. So there is R and there is S. So inside R there is A, where A is a subring of this. So when you apply the mapping phi, so the image of this subring, it will be some set. So that set is being denoted by phi of A. So it contains all the images of A, right, where A belongs to A. So you take all the elements of capital A and take their images under the operation phi and make their set. Obviously that set is going to be a subset of S. Now this property is saying, this result is saying that this phi of A is also going to be a subring of S. That means the property of subring is also preserved under the operation of homomorphism. So it's very easy to prove. You try it yourself how you are going to prove it, because आपको देखो सबरिंग प्रूव करना है, बस एक सेट है अपने सामने डिफाइंड है phi, you just have to prove it's a subring of S. So use subring test and it will be proven that it is a subring. So do it yourself and try to remember the property कि ये इसका मतलब क्या है. तो इसका मतलब है कि जो होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, रिंग होमोमॉर्फिज्म है, वो सबरिंग को प्रिजर्व कर रहा है. कि आप सब रिंग की इमेज निकालोगे वो भी सब रिंग ही आएगा, बट ऑब्वियसली वो दूसरी रिंग का सब रिंग है एस का। ओके, सो अब हम आइडियल की बात करते हैं। इफ ए इज एन आइडियल, सो लेट ए नहीं आई यूज कर लेते हैं नोटेशन, क्योंकि ए हमने सब रिंग के लिए यूज किया है। इफ आई इज एन आइडियल and phi is on 2, then phi a is, sorry, phi I is also an ideal of S. Obviously यहाँ पे I is an ideal of R. Okay, so can anybody explain the difference between property number 2 and 3? प्रॉपर्टी 2 का मतलब मैंने आपको समझा दिया है, यू जस्ट रिपीटेड। प्रॉपर्टी 3 का मतलब क्या है? Yes, anybody? Yes, Sanjoli? Do we have Sanjoli here? Sanjoli Sani? Shweta?
यस मैम।
Yes, Shweta.
थर्ड स्टेटमेंट में कह रहे हैं जैसे आई जो है हमारा आइडियल है आर का,
हम्म
तो ये जो फाई हमारा फंक्शन है
हम्म
इसको हम कह रहे हैं ऑन टू। अगर ये ऑन टू है और आई आइडियल है आर का, तो क्या होगा, जो ये फाई आई होगा ये भी आइडियल बनेगा, लेकिन वो जो बनेगा वो एस का बनेगा।
हाँ, तो इसमें और सेकंड प्रॉपर्टी में क्या डिफरेंस है?
सेकंड में
Okay, thank you. I'll explain. So the only thing I wanted to point out is कि सब रिंग की इमेज सब रिंग होगी, बट आइडियल की इमेज हमेशा आइडियल नहीं होगी। उसके लिए मैप का ऑन टू होना जरूरी है। सो यू नो देयर वाज नो कंडीशन ऑन द मैपिंग फाई इन प्रॉपर्टी नंबर 2, but there is a condition in question property number 3 that the map has to be on 2. So this is the difference I was trying to point out कि आइडियल का इमेज आइडियल नहीं होता है हमेशा फॉर द होमोमॉर्फिज्म। The homomorphic image of an ideal of a ring is not always an ideal, but if the map is onto, then it is going to be an ideal. And the second property says the homomorphic image of a subring of a ring is always a subring. So subring to subring mapping के लिए you don't need onto, but ideal to ideal mapping के लिए you need onto. Okay, so next property which we are going to define is phi inverse B is R belongs to R, where phi R belongs to B is an ideal of R. अब हम inverse images की बात कर रहे हैं. We started with B. Given in the statement, if you look at, आपको starting में ये given था, B is an ideal of S. So now we are commenting upon whether the inverse image of an ideal is an ideal. अब आप S ring से start करे हो, राइट? सो नाउ यू आर ऑलरेडी इन एस, यहाँ पे एक बी है और बी जो है ऑलरेडी क्या है, आइडियल। सो यू टेक इट्स इनवर्स इमेज ऑफ दिस सेट, so that will form a set of subset of R. So let's denote this by phi inverse B. So this will be defined like this. It will contain all those elements of the ring whose image are in B. That is how you define inverse image of any set. इसमें वो सारे रिंग के एलिमेंट्स आएंगे जिनकी इमेज बी में है, जिनका phi r B में है। तो now we are saying B is an ideal implies this inverse image of ideal is also going to be ideal. So image of an ideal is not an ideal, for that we need onto, but inverse image of ideal is ideal. This is how you can say in general common man's language, in layman's language, you can remember these results. Mathematically they are written in front of you, but इनको याद रखने के लिए हम हमेशा ऐसे याद रखते हैं, इनवर्स इमेज ऑफ एन आइडियल इज ऑलवेज एन आइडियल। इसमें कोई ऑन टू का कंडीशन नहीं होगा। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो अगेन आई एम गिविंग अ टास्क टू यू, यू ट्राई दिस योर सेल्फ। Okay, then we have property number 5th. If R is commutative, then phi r is also commutative. So that means अब आपकी ओरिजिनल रिंग है S जिसपे आपकी R की इमेज जा रही है, तो वो S may or may not be commutative, but जो R का इमेज सेट होगा phi r, it has to be commutative. So it's trivial. So commutativity is also preserved, you can say, by the ring homomorphism. Okay, now we are talking about unity. कि अगर रिंग R में यूनिटी है, मीन्स वी नो द यूनिटी, मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी. सो इफ R हैज अ यूनिटी 1 and S is not equal to 0. S is not equal to 0. What does it mean? That अब हर रिंग में बाय डिफॉल्ट एक एलिमेंट तो होता ही होता है, बिकॉज रिंग की डेफिनेशन ही स्टार्ट होती है नॉन एम्प्टी सेट. यू कांट मेक रिंग्स आउट ऑफ एम्प्टी सेट्स, तो मिनिमम एक एलिमेंट तो हर रिंग में होगा ही होगा, एंड दैट इज अ जीरो एलिमेंट. तो जीरो एलिमेंट, अगर हम सिर्फ जीरो एलिमेंट की बात करें, सो वी नो दिट्स अ रिंग इन इटसेल्फ, ट्रिवियली सेटिस्फाइज all the definitions of a axioms of a ring. So हम कह रहे हैं S is a non-zero ring. By writing this I am saying कि S में zero के अलावा भी elements हैं. So if R has a unity 1 and S is non-zero and phi is onto, then phi of 1 is the unity of S. तो इसको हम दूसरी वर्डिंग में क्या लिख सकते हैं? We can use, we can interpret it like the unity gets mapped to unity. Means unity of R gets mapped to unity of S. So अगर आपको दोनों में से एक रिंग की भी मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी पता है and it's a homomorphism existing between them and that's a on-to map, so you can always find the multiplicative identity of the other ring. Just take 5. So that means ये जो homomorphism है, it is also preserving the unity. And let me go towards the more properties. So property number 7th, phi is an isomorphism if and only if phi is onto and kernel phi is 0. So I hope everybody is familiar with the definition of the kernel, because ये हम in general groups के लिए भी define करते हैं, that how you can find I should not say for groups, for any function. So for homomorphisms we define kernels, for functions also we define kernels. So kernel of a function is always defined like this, that it contains, अब ये ring है आपकी यार, तो यहाँ पे kernel phi is going to be a subset of R, and it will contain all those elements of R belonging to R, all those elements of the ring whose image is 0, because in ring S there is going to be a 0 element, right? तो जिन सब का image 0 है, जो सारे elements 0 पे map हो रहे हैं, they make a subset in R and that is known as kernel. तो अगर kernel किसी ring का 0 है, means kernel में सिर्फ 0 element ही है, because 0 तो उसमें आएगा ही आएगा, because 0 की image हमेशा 0 ही होगी, right? It's understood to everybody. 0 element is always mapped to the 0 element. So 0 तो उसमें आएगा ही, that means 0 के अलावा अगर उसमें कोई और element नहीं है, so that means that map is 1 1. So basically जो ये condition होती है, this one, that kernel phi is just containing one element which is 0, so ये condition होती है 1 1 की. So हमने additionally onto बोल दिया और बोल दिया phi is 1 1. तो onto और 1 1 होने से वो क्या हो जाएगा? Isomorphism. So ये भी क्वेश्चंस में यूज करने का एक तरीका होता है कि हम 1 1 नहीं प्रूव करते हैं, सो इजी तरीका होता है आप कर्नल फाइंड कर लो. सो कर्नल सेट में अगर सिर्फ 0 एलिमेंट आ रहा है तो दैट मैप हैपेंस टू बी 1. सो दिस वी यूज मेनी टाइम्स. सो ये आइसोमॉर्फिज्म प्रूव करने का भी ये तरीका है कि ऑनटू, बिकॉज ऑनटू इज मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ट्रिवियल, राइट? ऑनटू हमें सिर्फ देखना ही होता है कि कोई एग्जिस्टेंस की प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है, बट समटाइम्स इट्स ट्रिकियर टू प्रूव 1 1. So for proving 1 1 we use this technique. And then we have the last property, that if phi is an isomorphism from R to S, then phi inverse is also an isomorphism from S to R. So it's very clear, क्योंकि आप किसी भी मैप, अब ये फाई इनवर्स यहाँ पे फंक्शन का इनवर्स की बात हो रही है, तो किसी भी फंक्शन का इनवर्स आप तभी डिफाइन कर सकते हो जब वो 1 1 ऑन टू है. सो इट्स ऑलरेडी एन आइसोमॉर्फिज्म गिवन, तो अब हम कह रहे हैं उसका जो इनवर्स मैपिंग होगी दैट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी एन आइसोमॉर्फिज्म, बट ऑब्वियसली फ्रॉम S to R. So phi will be R to S. So phi inverse will be defined from S to R. So if this is isomorphism, this is also isomorphism. So these are the properties which are famously known about homomorphisms, and in many theorems these properties will be used to prove certain other results. अब इनके खुद के जो proofs है ये आप खुद try करो, they are very easy. आपको खुद से fundamentals clear होंगे to prove these little things. So okay, I won't be taking up the next property because time हो गया है. So I can take your doubts if you have any. Yeah, that's all for today. You can ask me your doubts.
मैम एक बार वो वाला पेज दिखाना जहाँ पे प्रॉपर्टी 2 और 3 लिखी थी.
Okay. Yeah.
थैंक यू मैम.
Okay, so that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Tomorrow is holiday or not of Good Friday?
मैंने अभी चेक नहीं किया है. एकेडमिक कैलेंडर थापर का देखना पड़ेगा. अगर हुई तो ठीक है, नहीं हुई तो हम मिलेंगे. मैं वेरीफाई कर लूंगी. आपको
Okay.
मिला होगा एकेडमिक कैलेंडर, कुछ मिला है आपको?
Yes, ma'am. वहाँ पे कर रहा था शो कि है हॉलीडे.
हॉलीडे है वहाँ पे? अच्छा, तो फिर होगा. आई नीड टू वेरीफाई.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके,
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू.